Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Mo?
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Mel?
Yes, West Coast Wednesdays in the house. Welcome back to Girl Chat Sports with Mo and Mel. We are thanking you for joining in with us. And for those joining in later, please feel free to share the show, subscribe to our YouTube at Girl Chat Sports, join our group on Facebook, and follow us on all social media. That's about it.
Yeah,
It's all
sharing is
free to
caring for
do.
sure.
So why can't you? Why don't you? I mean, give us an early Christmas present. How about that?
And with
Hey, we've got
that,
a good show. We've got some football stuff going on. You know, I think both of us had a not so great week in football, including fantasy. We got some hot topics. We got some jugadores that are going crazy out there. And we also got a special guest jumping on shortly in regards to the XFL, which for those here in Vegas know, this is a new home for the Las Vegas Vipers. So we'll get some veteran information on the XFL because these guys, our guest has been covering it for a long time now through the many different ownerships, I guess you could say. But let's get into some hot topics real quick. I didn't want to get a picture of this because I just wanted to just acknowledge the fact that there was another, I would still consider it a mass shooting over at Virginia, University of Virginia. One of the ex-football players, and I believe is still a current student, had shot and killed 3 of the Virginia players there after they were coming back from a campus field trip on that Sunday following that field trip when they were returning home from it. 2 others were injured. Um, Listen, when I read not that story isn't bad enough already. I read the article and it mentioned like how there's been over 600 mass shootings in the United States just in this year. This year, over 600 shootings. It's tragic, it's ridiculous, and the kid, and he's a kid. I mean, I think they were juniors. Most of them were juniors. So, Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. is the person that had shot these other 3 players who we give our condolences to family, to the school. The school actually is canceling their football game this Saturday, and the rest of the ACC is going to be wearing the decals of University of Virginia on their helmets and taking a moment of silence. But there needs to be, I mean, what is happening where we can't do more? This kid had been under suspicion for having a gun on campus back in September. He had had a misdemeanor for concealed weapons back in February 2021. I can't. That's a lot.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
I mean, I know there's nothing to say. I just need to
I mean,
make
I
a
don't know what
point
you
of
want me to
it.
say, really. Like, I don't know what else
I,
to say.
I'm not looking at you to say something. It's more so I just need to acknowledge that this
I
bullshit is
mean, it
happening out
happened. And,
here.
and
And it's
again, this
like,
is adding to my Black trauma, and it's another unnecessary situation. I mean, I'm going through this. I'm going through what happened to Shaquille Williams in Cabo San Lucas. I mean,
yes,
it's too much. It's too much. And the
that's a
sad
whole
thing
other,
about it is
yeah.
it's our own, my own, that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's adding more to the trauma. So it's very unfortunate. It's very heartbreaking. I mean, there's days I just want to cry about this stuff because it's just too much. It
Yeah,
really
her
is. And I don't
story
know.
in
I don't
Mexico
know
is
what's
terrible too.
the it's I don't know what the issue is as far as motive and all of that. And I saw on CNN they had interviewed the dad. The dad said his son was acting a little weird, but kind of didn't seem very I don't know. I don't know. Didn't
It's
really seem much
crazy. I
empathetic
had read
about
that
it.
like in high school he was like a key club president and had like a really, didn't seem to be too off or odd in high school. And so there was mention that there was a hazing incident that happened at the school. Whether that was the reason why he no longer played for the football team, I don't know.
I mean, I saw a post from a student that was talking about going he posted on his Twitter engaging people to leave blood on the floor, do all this kind of stuff.
Oh
It was
my
another
gosh.
student. So I don't know if it's motivated. Same thing with University of Virginia. Like it was another related. I don't know if it's related. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that 3 young men that had promising futures seem to have talent, seem to have very good interest in college aside from sports.
Yes.
Their lives got taken shortly. Their lives got taken very shortly, and it's just devastating.
It's terrible.
That's
And
all I can say. It's just devastating.
yeah.
And like you said, condolences to the families. But I'm just sick of the trauma. I really am. Can't take it anymore. It's too much.
It's a lot. All right, we'll move on. There's another interesting topic that I had to bring up because at first when I saw the headline, I was thinking something completely different. So I don't know if everybody's heard about it, but Broncos linebacker Aaron Patrick is filing a lawsuit against SoFi Stadium. So when I saw the original article, I was like, oh, well, we just saw that Cooper Kupp has got injured at SoFi. I remember DK Metcalf got injured at SoFi. There was a Chargers, I think, cornerback that got injured at SoFi. Like, there's been a lot of injuries that's happened within the stadium. And so I thought this was one of those that was happened like on the field type injuries. Come to find out, TMZ had found the lawsuit, which say that he was suing for damages, including lost bonuses and future earning potential, but that really he is suing the mat company as well as ESPN, the Chargers, the NFL, etc. Because the mat company, what happened is apparently he's completely off the field in this picture. I guess he had attempted to make a tackle on a punt return during Monday Night Football back in October. He avoided some NFL official that was there by one of the monitoring TVs, and he stepped on these mats that were covering the NFL's instant replay monitors and their cords. And that's where he said he bent his knee bad where the ACL tear happened. And now, of course, we all know he's out for the season. I
say file it if that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it threw me for a loop though, because I was assuming it was one of those on-field injuries that we've heard about most of the season about SoFi. I think his attorney even mentioned that SoFi was built with $5 billion, and how do they have these $100 restaurant mats inside to help cover up cables and stuff for the television stations and whatnot? Hey. Yeah, he lost the rest of his season and probably his bonuses and whatever else. And hopefully he comes back and can play just as good as he was. He was having a good season. So it's disappointing, but yeah, that one threw me for a loop. I still am. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot.
I feel like file a lawsuit, brother. File a lawsuit.
Keep it going, man. I'm sure there's probably other people that will join in on it. Maybe not for that one. That one was against they actually named the mat company, I guess, too.
I mean, that's what you have to go at the source.
Yeah.
I mean, why are those mats down there? And then you look at, I don't know.
And they're like, why are they these cheap? Why don't you have a better product out there to cover these cords?
I don't think they were expecting anybody to fall on that thing either, but it happened.
Yeah, well, it's
there we are.
I mean, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, Jugadores. So one of your Dodgers, former Dodgers, Mr. Yasiel Puig, whatever. He pled guilty to placing bets through an illegal enterprise. So there was a guy named Wayne Nix who had about like a 20-year illegal sports gambling business. Yasiel had accumulated almost $300,000 in losses through his website, paid it back $200, and then made an additional 900 bets on numerous sporting events. It wasn't clear if he betted on baseball, but he was betting on all professional sports, it sounded like, maybe not baseball. But now he's facing up to 5 years in prison, and he has to pay a fine of $55,000. Okay. Now, I know this is prior to fan duels, and we know all the places where you can bet, but illegal, I mean, is that what you should be doing when you making like 500 million over the lifetime of your career? I don't know.
You got a lot to say. I don't really have much to say, but Puig, go Puig. And the thing of it is you're stupid. At the end of the day, it's just stupid. I mean,
and the funny thing is, I'm sure that he didn't even come up in the conversation until this guy that owned it had, got into trouble and got arrested, and for being.
Well, they got he's not in the league. They got he's not in the majors. They got he's not on the Dodgers. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, exactly. You're being stupid, Yasiel. It's an immature thing that you do immature stuff. You play these stupid games.
You get stupid consequences. You win
Cracker Jack prizes. So this is what it is.
Oh my gosh. It's
insane. Yeah. I mean, you're just being stupid, like at this point.
Very.
So now you got to serve time. Now you got to do a nickel. All right.
All right, so I don't even know why, and you sent this to me, but I don't even know why Antonio posts this. So apparently, Antonio Brown posted a text that he received from Tom Brady back in May of 2021. Basically tell him that he's just demonstrating very poor decisions, poor communication. Many people have gone above and beyond to help him. He's acting like a selfish, and unfortunately, many of those people are exhausted by their erratic and unpredictable emotional behavior. When I met you, you were humble, willing to learn, and anxious to improve things in your life in a short period of time. You have done those things and accomplished some great things, and very much in the path to success long term. Unfortunately, you have reverted very much back to a young, immature man that is selfish, self-serving, irrational, and irresponsible. I, for one, am disappointed in many behaviors over the past few months. You have seemed to have lost that humility and that APG. You have gone from hanging around good quality people that have genuine interest in seeing you succeed to seeing others whose lives are erratic, out of control, leading you down a negative path.
Shut up, Tom. Shut up. Because you were the main one that took this man on when he was pulling these shenanigans, and he pulled it with the Raiders, he pulled it with his wife, you pulled it with all these things, and you thought with your ego that you could change this man and be who he is. So shut up. You should have known better.
Well, why is he sending it in May? Why weren't you sending that during the season when he was screwing up?
This was like, come on. Cut the cap, okay? And not only was he posting this tweet, he's also posted a tweet from Big Ben. Seems to me that AB has a lot of receipts and he keeps a lot of old text messages. Sadly, I had to get rid of all my old text messages because my phone memory was starting to get full. His memory seems to be endless. So he is posting not only that text message, but he's also posting one from Big Ben back in the day, praising him on how good he was and all that. He was posting all his little old retro text. But shut up, Tom Brady. Shut up, because you knew who he was and what was going on. So I don't even want to hear that. You knew what type of man he was. You thought because you're Tom Brady that you could do something with him and control the clown and put him back in his little box. No, he clowned you. He clowned you. He clowned the Bucs organization, and he is just moved on. And now he's posting little receipts of how you just kind of thought you was laying into him and trying to sun him, and it didn't work.
Yeah, that would be the case. And I don't know what caused him to bring that out. Like, what was was it because Tom's finally having a 2-win season? His post-divorce winning is 2-0.
This is old text message from last year, okay?
Right, but why did he decide to post it now? He's just trying
it's Antonio Brown. Why does he do the things he does? There's no answers to these questions. The man was trending on Twitter.
Jugadores Locos.
I was wondering why he was trending. I opened it up, and there we have it. Receipts from messages from Tom Brady. I mean, he was trying to play Gruden when Gruden was on the phone with him on speaker and was playing games with him. I mean, Tom's seen all of this, so be quiet. Like, what did you think you were going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what he thought he was going to do. No. But on that topic of Tom
Brady. He was
Brady,
bored. He posted old, antiquated. I guess maybe his memory is full. He wanted to delete stuff. But before he did, he thought he posted some text messages. I don't know.
I just don't get it.
We don't know what this guy does. And if we understand him, we'll be insane. So let's not understand it, okay?
Okay.
Because then we're rationalizing his differences.
I know. Because he's just crazy. He is a crazy player.
You cannot.
It's a lot.
Why would you try to figure that out? That's going to make you crazy. I say that to people all the time. I don't want to turn crazy.
I know. All right. So our last Jugadores this week. Now this is just plain old disgusting and wrong. So I don't even know how to pronounce his name. It's Ilfer, I think. Ilfer.
Yeah, I saw
Latifi. That. So he got suspended today by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for 3 months. And I'm like, what did he do? Because of course I need to find Jugadores for the show. Well, apparently, the Nevada State Athletic Commission has a precedent to discipline fighters who compete injured or ill, but do not disclose their health ailments. Apparently, when he fought October 1st here in Las Vegas and he won, he beat Alec. You look at UFC fighters are harder than some WNBA players. Alexei Olenek. He revealed that post-fight he was dealing with a staph infection. A staph infection. That's just nasty. As you may know, staph infections are deemed contagious and potentially a health hazard for, of course, your opponent who you're in a fight with in a ring, as well as anybody who came in contact with him over the course of the fight or the preparation for the fight. So, yeah, that's a big
crazy.
a staph infection. Like I'm sorry. That just
You seem
makes
to
my
be
skin
very
crawl.
reactive to all of this Jugadores Locos and just
It was a lot. It
the
was a
world
lot.
we're in.
The world we're in. Hey, so we're gonna get into some Las Vegas sports, and since we were just talking about the UFC, I also want to bring in our guests. So
Yeah.
please welcome to the show, Mr. Arlington ATrain Lane, who has his mic muted. So please unmute your mic. Welcome, Arlington ATrain. So Arlington hosts a
Co-host
podcast
the
called the X Fan Show podcast.
Show,
Him
yeah,
and his
co-host.
co-host,
Mhm.
and I forgot that you were coming in town, and of course you had prepped me a couple times, which is okay. But Arlington is here in Las Vegas. He actually, the show that the X Fan Show did a little. Tell us what you and your co-host are doing out here.
So we got a chance to go a bit to the XFL draft is at the UFC Apex Center in Enterprise, and kind of did just some little spot analysis and did some coverage of the XFL draft. Of course, listen, they're not. It was like, well, we're not allowing fans come in anyway. You know, they're very
Yeah, there was
tight.
no fans. There was no fans.
No.
Yeah.
Not a, and there weren't any players either. So, you know, they
Oh
were.
wow.
Yeah, so when they did their draft, they were closed in. You know, it looked like, I'm just saying it, this is just pure speculation. It looked like they were doing like a production of sorts with the draft, and they're going to put it in a. It looks like it's going to be maybe a televised event or something going to go online, because there was some presentations looking like from Dany Garcia and of course Dwayne Johnson, the co-owners of the XFL. So it was a pretty good experience to be there, even though it was cold, and you know I'm not used to Vegas being this
Well,
cold.
yeah, I'd seen some of your videos and I was like, wait, they're outside. Like, do we need to bring them hot cocoa, Mo? Like, I didn't know, the temperature, even for me living here, we're used to a little bit of wind and the colder temperatures in November. But just to be sitting outside, to be outside with you guys were tailgating basically at that point,
Yeah.
which was crazy. I just, so
Arlington, do me a favor and explain to the audience too what the XFL is, because we have listeners out there that may not know what we are speaking. We could be speaking Japanese at this point. I just want to clarify, and the new announcement of why Vegas, of all things.
So the XFL is the third iteration of league that was founded by Vince McMahon. Then the XFL went bankrupt in 2020, and Dany Garcia and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, they, along with Redbird Capital, bought the XFL, which was like it's a spring football league, 10-week season, and where you get people that don't really get an opportunity in the NFL to play, and they're playing in the XFL. Of course, 2020 it happened, and then it went to because COVID came and it wiped out the season. And so now coming up in 2023, February 18th, they'll be bringing back this league again. And they said they want to try it again and make sure they do it right compared to the last couple of times, of course, in 2001, and of course, the COVID season in 2020. Right. So The Rock now is trying to bring in younger talent and those that do not get looked at by the NFL and give them a shot in the XFL. As a matter of fact, they did get a partnership with the NFL. So that's a good look.
Well, and as we know, too, I think there was like 2 quarterbacks this season in the NFL that had played in the XFL. Yeah. I'm sure there's been more, but I know there was the 2 starting quarterbacks that had spent time in the XFL. So it's good to know that that's a partnership that they've made. Now, let me play it first before I start. Let me play. There was a short video I got of Dany Garcia, who is the chairwoman of the XFL. And shout out to her real quick. She's not our girl power, but I do want to give her some special accreditation because she has the very first professional football, ball that is signed by a woman. So there's been no other woman that has had a professional football league ball. So she's the first female to have a signature on the professional league's ball, which is dope.
That is,
I think that's
really
amazing.
Great.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So here's a quick clip of her.
Our league is a league of vision, and we are here to unleash the dreams that football makes possible, and it's starting today, which we are absolutely excited about. Our athletes, our players, are elite players, and they will have something to prove. And we will be behind them, investing them so they can prove it on the field. And we will have dynamic play. We will have play that matters. We will be engaging our fans. We will be entertaining them.
Here's one quick one. So yesterday there was, I guess, like an actual, they didn't have the draft started today, right? Is that today or did it start yesterday?
Yeah, the actual draft started today, but yesterday they did what was known as like a quarterback selection show, where they picked up a couple of quarterbacks to their rosters.
Got you. So I know today, I don't think The Rock or Dwayne Johnson was around the entire draft, but I know this was the first draft by the Vipers.
Fifth selection of the skill position in the XFL draft, the Las Vegas Vipers select
Martavis Bryant, wide receiver, Clemson.
Yeah, it seems kind of like a Emmy Award show during COVID.
Yeah, the claps are quiet. But they were there.
I'm like, okay.
Very intimate kind of situation.
Very. Mm-hmm. You can't have two people getting close to The Rock, you know?
Right. I mean, he's got to protect himself too.
Yeah. It's true girl power because Dany Garcia, is like stated, is the first woman to own an entire sports league. That is transcending over anything that women have done in sports. Not saying that what they have done in sports is a bad thing, but that's at pretty much the highest level you can get when you own an entire sports league. You know, not commissioner, not president, general manager. No, she owns the entire league.
Yeah.
And so she has been the face, you know, and quiet as kept, Dwayne is trying to remove himself and let Dany do her duty as being that, because it's historic all by itself. And that's something that is special. And another reason why I believe that the XFL can work. And
that's the other question we have is, so what's different about this go round than previous go rounds that you believe the XFL will work?
So if it wasn't for COVID, we would be getting towards the fourth season of this iteration of the XFL. If COVID never happened, 2020 would have been a season. 21 would have potentially been a season. 22 would have been, this year would have been a season. Then 23 could have been a season. And so with that, you're looking at a new ownership, a new look. Because if you saw before, they had the color balls and stuff. They were being very colorful, but they were trying to be Americanized because politically, because I got to be honest, it was a political thing. The XFL in 2020 was a true political thing, but it was good. The football was overshadowing that. So this iteration, they want to keep the game. They want all of what you had in 2020 and put that in 2023. Just now it's a different ownership. And that's pretty much where we are right now. You're going to get majority of the rules like in 2020, 1 foot. You're going to get the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point opportunities. You'll get potentially at a double forward pass. You also get a chance with the kickoff. The kickoff was one of the great things of XFL 2020, where once the ball was picked, you stayed until it was touched.
Right.
Then you could move. It still brought an exciting chance at potentially going, because what they were trying to do was the kickoffs is making sure that there was an opportunity where they got a chance to run. You know, and quiet as kept, the Battlehawks was the first group to actually score a touchdown with that new kickoff in 2020. And they want to keep that exciting play going on for coming up in 2023.
So being that you've been all in the mix of the XFL, you and your coaster out here in Las Vegas, kind of getting all the messaging from people that are, tuning into the draft, because there are some diehard XFL fans out there that are really tuning into what's happening with this draft. Have you heard anything yet as to where the Las Vegas Vipers are planning to play? I think we're all a little interested here as to where this could happen.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
I mean, it's not arena, so you can't put them down in the small arena like Dollar Loan Center, like the arena team is, the Battle Hawks, I believe it is. I think Cashman is basically a grave site, and I don't think anything should be happening there unless it's like a monster truck show. Of course, you still have Allegiant Stadium, but I'm sure there'll probably be concerts and whatnot. I don't know. I'm curious to know if there's been any buzz on where Vegas is playing. You're smirking, and I feel like there's something.
I have to say this. I know something. I just can't say it.
Okay. I figured you were smirking like that. It was a reason, like you were going to not tell us.
I know something, but I can't say anything about it. But here's my thing. I was rooting for, before I found out later on that it closed, I was rooting for Sam Boyd again. I know that is not the best shape, but I'm like, you have a viable venue, but of course there have been some things with UNLV, Mark Davis, the Raiders, and it's like, no, we can't do that. So
when is the XFL season? Because I did hear one thing, and I don't know if this is what you've heard, but I heard, Mo, that they were looking at possibly playing at the Las Vegas ballpark and turning that ballpark into like a football field for, we saw the Pro Bowl had their event there and made it into some kind of, makeshift football field. But I'm wondering, like, when does the XFL season end versus when does the Aviator season start out here? Do you know how long the XFL season is? Is it like a couple months, 3 months?
It's 10 weeks, right? So it's 10 weeks.
And
then
it's going to be a total of 12 weeks.
Oh, 12
10
weeks.
Week
Okay.
it's 10-week regular season with no breaks. And then you'll have the playoff week, the East to face off against the West. And then you have the championship game the following week. So around that time period, it shouldn't go against the grain for that if they potentially play with the Aviators or whatnot. If not, they'll just probably look at moving to another venue like the United States Football League did when they couldn't do it in Birmingham because of the World Games. So they moved it to Canton, Ohio to play the championship game. So, I mean, it's always a possibility of playing at a different venue. So,
I mean, I think it's a good look because the Las Vegas ballpark doesn't really get a lot of action outside the season.
No, they don't
for
really
right
have any
now.
events
Like during the
going on.
holidays, they have like their big holiday display thing that's there usually from like November through Christmas and the holidays. But other than that, not a lot happens at Las Vegas ballpark. So except for the occasional, like, bring your kids to a movie night that happens when it starts getting warm again. So I think that'd be great. It'd be a great use of space. It'd be close to me, so I could I'd be more willing to go see games there. So, hey, well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for that.
And just think about it, ladies, that you're going to have in 2023, you're going to have some form of football every single month of the year. That's what's the crazy thing about it. With the XFL and then with the USFL, every single month is going to have some football. You got to think about NFL and college football too. That's amazing.
I mean, it's going to feed the football junkies for sure.
Oh, yes. And that's what they're going for. They want to make sure they feed the football junkie.
Donnell said Cashman, maybe. I was thinking about that too with the lights, but with the light season, I don't know how that's
with the light season.
Either.
Well, because they don't even halfway be here during the season.
They don't.
They have been based out of LA the last season.
Right.
I don't know, that's a good one too.
I was thinking that too, but it still looks like a baseball field. I don't know.
That was my
Cashman
pick.
I don't know.
That was my
Wherever
pick.
you go between Boyd needs money. They need money to fix up whatever it takes for that. If
Oh,
Boyd has the capital to do that,
it's going to need more than a field.
With Boyd Group or Boyd Gaming. They still own it, and you can partner with them to get it working.
And don't let them bugs come out at night at Cashman, because
that's what I'm saying. I don't even know how that venue would set up for that. Really, I would look more at the baseball park because it's newer and the seats and the capacity for fans to come.
Are better. Parking.
Plus the capacity. You got a bigger capacity of fans to come, as opposed to.
Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but the Legion wouldn't have been bad. But of course, Mark wants money, so. He wants money. If you don't give him money,
well, maybe he could get a winning team in there. I mean,
right.
Listen. What they were able to draft in day one, getting Martavis Bryant, the question is going to become, is he ready? Does he want to play? And being in the last 2 seasons, he had tried, in the CFL, it didn't quite work out for him. And so now it's going to be, hey man, if I'm his agent, I'm looking at him like, this is it, brother. It's either you take this opportunity or that's it. You're not going to get another one. And the other one was Vic Beasley, the former Pro Bowler from the Atlanta Falcons. That was a big surprise pick by the Vegas Vipers. And head coach Rod Woodson, which I got a chance to meet, by the way. He's a good guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nice. And that is special. Like, he's a defensive-minded guy, and I really do believe that's what's going to be the key to the Vipers is their defense. And don't get me wrong, quarterbacks with Luis Perez and Juwan McClendon, Luis Perez in particular, who's had some NFL experience. You're getting a guy that has been around in alternative football, so he knows what to do.
The system, yeah,
and he can be a legitimate quarterback for the Vipers if they choose to play him. But the other thing is the diversity in the league. That's what I'm impressed about. You're seeing more HBCU players being involved. So when they did their HBCU showcase back in the summer, when Deion Sanders was there, that was the point, is getting opportunities for guys that don't get looked at.
Right. And can't go to the pro level because they're not getting looked at.
Or need that camera on them during one of these games to get to that next step. They just
got to come out and see them. That's
especially in seasons like this when injuries are happening left and right. Like, you got to start picking up other people. And
they should have been scouting anyway with all these injuries in the NFL any doggone way. But that's a whole nother subject. But I do like the door opening for this and what you're saying, Arlington, as far as a segue for it. That's a good look. You know what I mean? Because that gets foreshadowed all the time. So.
And that was the cool thing about the XFL. Like, Dwayne always talk about player 54. I didn't get that opportunity to be on that NFL roster. So now with me coming in with the XFL, I want those guys. Those are going to be my player 54s. That's going to get a chance to make a shot at the next level. And
that's great.
That's what's up.
Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I understand it. I understand that it's going to be, they're going to look at it as like a feeder league. And I was like, kept saying to myself, why would you make a feeder league in big metropolitan cities? And you're playing in the spring. It's not like you're going against the XFL, but that is a whole nother story. But I'm telling you, because I can go on a rant about that, and I'm trying my best not to. But that is the thing. I'm going to pull Mo in a minute. But in all honesty, the XFL is needed. It's meant for these guys. These are the young men, because there are a lot of young ones. Like, if we go back and look at some of the rosters, and I got a chance to look at some of the men that are going to be participating, you're looking at an age range of 22 to 32. So that's going to be participating in this league.
That's a variety of ages. That's a lot of different experience levels for sure. And I'm sure it's going to be a key for a lot of those players to get those eyes on them, to get some money playing with the sport they love and they know how to do. So,
absolutely.
Arlington, we appreciate you. I don't want to hold up your Las Vegas vacation while you are here.
What else have you been doing while you're here? What else have you been doing real quick?
Right now, I'm about to go out and go check out. I'm staying at the Excalibur, and so check out, and I'm gonna go check out the strip. So
good.
And I hate to even admit this. This is my first time here in Vegas, so
what?
I'm gonna go check out. Yeah, Yeah,
You
Oh,
better
you
get
definitely
out on
gotta check
that
out.
strip. You know, the Golden Knights play here tomorrow, so you could go
Right,
catch a
go to a
hockey
Golden Knights game.
game.
Yes, go to a Golden Knights game. Tickets are very
I might
inexpensive
have to
now.
go look at that. For
Yes,
real,
go look
man.
at a Golden Knights
Yes,
game. Tickets are
yes.
very inexpensive now, even though they're on a win streak. They lost a couple,
Well, no,
but
they
you
lost
know,
the last two.
yeah, they lost the
but
last two, but that's
they have a
okay. We
home
got a game
loss
tomorrow.
streak right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like really across the street from T-Mobile, so
Yeah,
I might
yeah,
have
like for real.
At
Like that's
least
a
go
walk
check out the
over, for real.
eateries. Go down to the Ferris wheel at the Link. You know, get the promenade action. Do all that good stuff.
Choose
Check
a
out
really one good buffet to experience if you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'll give you some
definitely.
suggestions.
Yeah,
But
Bacchanal. But
enjoy yourself. And if you
tell
can,
us.
check out Allegiant too. You know,
Yeah, and let us know about the show, the X Fan Show. Give us the details on when this is out, when you guys are live, or when the show airs.
Sure. The X-Fan Show is a show for the XFL fans, and they have a great time with it, especially in all prospective cities. Myself and my co-host Dirty, we hosted Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at 12 noon in the East, 9 in the West.
In the West.
And
Okay.
we also do a local version with the St. Louis teams on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're not doing one tonight. So we didn't do it tonight, so that was okay because of the draft. And we got a chance to also meet Coach Anthony Beck, who is over the St. Louis team. So
nice.
Definitely looking forward to this new XFL coming out in 2023. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's great.
Dope.
Well, we'll have to have you
get
on when
out
the season
there,
starts, and then
We
have fun out
definitely
there
need
on
to
that
get
trip.
you and the co-host
Do Vegas
on
things and make it stay here. Don't take it home.
Hey,
Get
with
out
you.
there.
All
You
right.
already
Get out
know.
there. Do it.
You already know
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to you guys coming on the program so we can get some Vegas stuff from you guys as well. All right.
Of course,
All
we
right.
got you. We got you. Thanks again, ATrain. Go follow the ATrain show. Make sure you go over to the X Fan Show page, like them, check them out. We appreciate you as always. Enjoy Vegas.
Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, baby. That's where we at.
All
right. Awesome. Thanks. All right. That's dope though. XFL. Man, there's so much going on. Because speaking of Vegas sports, I finally made the trek to the Dollar Loan Center this weekend.
Yeah, they were playing the Warriors, right?
Yeah, they played the Warriors, where now Wiseman has now been bumped down to.
Right.
He wasn't there. He hadn't been bumped down yet, which would have been interesting had they. They actually got their first win. Ignite got their first win. They had lost, I think, the first 3 games. So I felt special that maybe they won because we were there. But here's the deal. And I'm going to be honest, because, I can't stand Henderson. I don't like driving anywhere east of the 15 freeway. But I was under the impression the Dollar Loan Center was out near like Boulder Highway, College Drive, Main Street. I never actually Googled it. And I didn't realize it was right across from Green Valley Ranch, like right across from the district. I had no idea that's where the Dollar Loan Center was. So in actuality, I felt a little better. Like I felt like I could be going there more often to watch games. It's a great, beautiful venue inside. It's also the home, of course, of the Nighthawks and the Battlehawks. And the parking situation's a little crazy. Yeah, the Silver Knights. But I was impressed. I was impressed by the arena. I was glad to be there. And it was good to see some basketball live, here in Las Vegas. So can't be mad. Can't be mad at that. Like we mentioned, the Golden Knights, they had a 9-game win streak, and they returned home only to lose on Tuesday to the Blues, and on Saturday the Blues, I'm sorry, and then yesterday to the Sharks. We're hoping that stops. They have the Coyotes at T-Mobile tomorrow night, at Thursday at 7 o'clock. So hey, we'll see how that goes. Las Vegas ballpark too. So this is another thing. This is in March. Big League weekend. Las Vegas ballpark announced that the Oakland A's, or future Vegas A's, will be playing the Reds Saturday and Sunday, March 4th through 5th at the Las Vegas ballpark. So guess there wouldn't be any XFL there that weekend.
I meant to say something real quick before you segued into that about our Knights. Those new jerseys that glow in the dark, they're on sale now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're on sale now. So the commemorative jerseys just went on sale today. Take a day to ship. Good price point. If you go on NHL website, they're offering 65% off. Well, they were earlier. They had 6 hours to make a purchase. So 65% off. if you're first timer on buying. So I was a first timer. I was a first timer. So
you should have just added 2 to the cart. Dang.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even get a chance to
I
add
want
my
that
cart
glow in the
because
dark one.
Well, I don't think it's gonna sell out. So this is your opportunity, and everybody out
You
there,
don't like
represent
it?
your Knights.
Represent your Knights. Oh, because they're not winning, they're not your team no more?
No, they're winning. Hey, listen, they got a better win column than any of my other teams right now.
Yeah,
so I'm still with
true.
them. I'm just saying the
Okay.
jerseys ain't selling out, but I'm just putting it out there that they are available now. So you can go and get one. Gotta stay on top of that thing. Shout out to my boy B Cal who did his mild flex once he got his jersey shipped to him. Turn the lights off and it glows. It's
wow. Did he really?
So,
oh wow. That's
yeah,
cool.
so,
I want that glow in the dark one. They're gonna have to start.
We all
the lights
do.
off
I want one too.
Yeah.
My Christmas gift.
I gotta go and check that. I'm gonna have to make a new login just with some other email address I have, just so I can be a first time shopper.
It expired,
and get that
so the 65's done. It was just like when I checked in at like this afternoon, it was 6 hours. Jeez. Had 6 hours left, so it was done.
Dang, Mo.
I thought you knew, girl. You be buying jerseys all the time behind my back, and don't be telling me.
I don't buy no jersey.
You drove out and got the new commemorative Aces jersey. Did not tell me till you was on the road. Like, oh, I'm going to Foot Locker pick up my jersey.
A fashion show. It was a fashion show. It wasn't a new commemorative when I went to get Asia one.
Yeah, exactly. Were you on the road or not? You had passed my house, right?
The fashion show.
So, no, it wasn't fashion.
They weren't on sale.
Didn't you go on Forum to get it?
No, I went to Dick's to get it. I didn't get no new jersey. I just got, that was the one I got last year. I haven't got no new jersey this year.
I thought you got the new gold, the different, the commemorative ones they have. The other ones, the New Vegas ones with the black and the gold. Yeah, you do. You don't have the new ones?
No, I don't. Aces? No.
You didn't get the new Aces one with the gold.
My very first jersey was a Kelsey Plum one, and that was black and gold. But that was like 3-4 years ago.
Was that 3-4 years ago? I feel like it was just last season.
No, that was when we were still in the studio, the old Gorilla Cross studio, because I got that picture of us.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Back to some Vegas sports real quick. So, the Running Rebels basketball team, the men, took down the number 21 ranked Dayton.
That's good.
Yesterday, which was pretty dope. So they're 3-0 on the season this far. We're still in preseason. They were actually down 10 at half and came back and won. So that's dope. Next up, they play on Friday here at UNLV. The Lady Rebels beat Oral Roberts last week. They're 2-0 on the season. They play Utah Valley at 4. And maybe it's Allegiant Stadium that just has the curse, because the Rebels also lost on Friday in football against Fresno State. They have lost 5 straight games since going 4-1 to start the season. They've lost 5. So I don't know if it's the Running Rebels issue. I don't know if it's a Raider issue. I don't know if it's Allegiant Stadium issue.
I need you to back off of my team right now, for real.
Oh, here we go.
I need you to back off on the stadium, on all of that. Like, for real. Like, the Rebels have been the Rebels. Like, what are we talking about right now? So you're going to blame
But they started out 4-1. I'm
just
saying.
So it could have been Sam Boyd.
Maybe someone needs to come through there and,
You're sitting there talking about... Stop it. You're talking about the Rebels football team that has been this mid team for how long? And now you're coming for the stadium. It's the stadium's fault. You know what we got over here. Stop it. You guys, she's always like trying to come for my stuff, man. Listen.
Hey, so here's the deal. I was listening to Miss Bollandy's podcast earlier. Shout out to Miss Bollandy. They had assistant coach from the Aces, Tyler, on the show. And he had mentioned that, having the great ownership of Mark Davis was something that really has excelled the Aces as a team and make them into a championship. And my thing is, we've all kind of we've heard about now Mark Davis saying that Josh McDaniels is the guy. He's doing all right, but your team isn't. So he said
he's a fantastic coach when he said that to the Review Journal. Then he rescinded that later on after the loss.
Oh, he rescinded it?
Well, he didn't rescind it. He just said it. He just changed his wording and said, hey, listen, this guy has just been here to a new franchise, that we've had a quarterback for like 9 seasons on. And, what are we talking about right now? Like, he's trying to give him a chance, but I think he's saving face because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season, who's going, who's not. It's kind of hard to say, let's get rid of our coach this mid-season as we go into 2 road games and don't have a replacement for him, especially when we don't have a Richard Bisaccia waiting in the wings and all of that. So you just don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. when it comes to Josh McDonald's, because it's
Someone
a
had
clown
talked
show now.
about Tom Brady doing his finale here in Las Vegas. What do you think about that one?
I mean, that would be good. We should have had him in the first place, but Gruden put the quash on that.
Oh, man.
Canta's asking about
This
Derek
is
Carr crying.
crazy.
We'll talk about that too. I didn't know if you were getting into any other topics because I don't want to.
No, let's. One thing
Wait.
I did have to mention was that Asia Wilson was at the Trailblazers game last night. She
Oh,
did a
nice.
tour at Nike, got to go see Nike. And I'm sorry, but the Trailblazers still winning because there's a champion in the house, of course. Because whenever the Aces show up somewhere, teams win.
Yeah.
Teams win.
Yep.
The
do.
Raiders need to invite the Aces back to a game because they won that game too.
Man, I don't know what they need to do, but I know what we don't need to be doing. We don't need to have our quarterback up on the post-game interviews crying. That's what we don't need happening.
Talk about that, because some people said he was starting to cry. You said he was crying. You tagged me in.
I watched
saw
it.
It
He
looked
was
like
crying.
tears.
He was
There
crying.
was
He was
Not-
crying. The man was crying. Okay.
Was he taking accountability?
I mean, the thing of it is I understand the frustration because as a fan, I get frustrated too.
Sure,
but
we all do. Yeah.
I don't know if those tears are really genuine, in my opinion.
You're not going to
say
that about Christian Carr, are you? Come on.
I only say that to say I know Derek Carr. I know Derek Carr. I mean, I know Derek Carr loves the Raiders. I know he wants to be a Raider. I know he definitely passionately cares about the Raiders organization. He will forever be a Raider. You had asked me the question, well, if Derek Carr leaves, how would you treat him? I treat him still like a legend. He's a Raider. Mm-hmm. He'll always be a Raider. I say the same thing with Khalil Mack. I say the same thing with other players that have left us. They're still Raiders to me. Once a Raider, you're always a Raider, in my opinion. There's no bad blood. Things happen, except for what's his name? That Randy Moss. That's the only one.
No.
But there is no crying in football. Yes, Baldy. And we are Raiders. Raiders don't cry. We are the outlaws of the team. We're supposed to be the thuggery, the whole thing. And my opinion is if he were to cry during last season, when we went through all the adversity of losing Henry Ruggs, of losing John Gruden, of just having all these issues, and he passionately broke down about the frustrations of what we go through as an organization and the players and the issues that we have, I probably would have respected him more for that. Crying for this? Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
For another loss. Why didn't you cry the last loss? Why is this loss the one cry-worthy?
Why this loss? Why is this one the most impactful one that hits you so hard? That's the thing. It's almost like he was auditioning for a film and he was reading his sides outside of the podium and then he decides to come up and say, let me do my lines. Action. And he did mention in the press conference that he himself is to blame on certain things. Yeah, you need to throw yourself in there too. And you also need to look at the fact that you are playing very below par than you were last season. And I feel like the reason he's playing a little bit below par from last season is because there's not a Mariota sitting on the bench threatening your job. I also think that, he's got to read the
throw
field.
To D. Adams.
Well, the thing of it is if he throws to D. Adams, he throws at right times, he throws at wrong times. You try to throw the ball at Devontae Adams,
or overthrows him.
Well, you try to throw the ball at Devontae Adams with 4 men on him when Josh Jacobs was clearly open. So where are your reads? Mm-hmm. And then whatever you're calling in your audibles, and you're trusting this coach to do the right thing and to call these plays, sometimes you can go past your coach and make the right decisions. This man will run the ball and miss the first down. Who does that? He does. So again, we've had 9 seasons with Derek Carr. This by far the worst with him. I mean, there were times we were 4-13 with him. There's times we were 8-8 with him. There was times last season we were the best season record with him, aside from 2016. But I think it's time. I think it's time to let him go. And I'm not saying that Josh McDaniels needs to stay either. But who are we going to have? There's whispers that Sean Payton might be an option. If he wants to come out of retirement, I would welcome that.
That would be nice. I like Sean Payton.
And I'm wondering what happens if Carr leaves. If Carr leaves, does Devontae Adams say he wants to ship off because that's his bestie leaving? I mean, what's the domino effect once this season's over and we trade this guy, And
well, something's going to have to be done because you guys can't keep living like this.
Hey, we're Raiders. We celebrate when we lose because we're like, oh, at least we scored. But we're not even celebrating this type of loss because we're so close into winning.
Because you're playing a Colts team played by Jeff Saturday, who's never coached a professional
And
game in his
big
life.
ups to the analysts that
Big
probably
ups.
are do a better job of coaching than
And he
people
did
that shouldn't be
the
coaches. You
Colts
know what I
did
mean?
great. Yeah.
Analysts are that what they do. What do? They analyze games, right?
And
Maybe
he's
there's something.
been,
Maybe there's
yeah.
something behind that. Maybe there's some truth behind that. Maybe he's
Maybe
proven a
you
theory
gotta
that
find one of the
works.
old Raiders to come out at off the analysis mic and come out there and coach on the field. For
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it starts with that coach. It starts with our quarterback, and it starts with our defense too. Our defense is suffering. I mean, you can't have Chandler Jones out there who's supposed to be this amazing stud with 0.5 sacks and only 6 tackles this season.
right.
It's not enough, you know.
It's not.
And for all the O-line players that have gone
Definitely
down,
not.
you have great replacements. So the replacements on offense is not an issue. And we said going into the season, there should be no excuses. So again, I'm standing on that. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. And you can't be up there crying because then no Raiders don't cry like that. Come on, we're Raiders.
You can't.
Silver and black. It's crazy.
We also saw a huge win by the Commanders on Monday Night Football, beating the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know who saw that one coming. I think I saw one person on all my feeds of social media that said, "Watch out for the Commanders." But I did not think that meant serious. I just thought maybe, they could cover
they
the
snapped
spread.
streaks. They did that with Cowboys.
Woo, Lord.
They snapped streaks. I said, this is not the first time they snapped a streak. When the Cowboys were rolling, they snapped them too. So, and when you're watching that game on Thursday night, you're like, oh, okay, they came to play.
It should be interesting. Yeah.
But we knew Philly's time was coming. We just didn't know which team
we should know which team. And I mean, I think we should all be surprised it was the Commanders, but then maybe not. But it's just like, man.
I'm more surprised on the Vikings and Bills. I'm not even surprised by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, that Vikings-Bills match. We saw
that was the best game on Sunday. It really was.
Wild overtime win. I mean, you saw
amazing catches from Justin Jefferson. One-handed catches that you would never
Josh
see
Allen's turnovers, the fumble exchange in the end zone. I mean, that was I didn't even watch the whole game. I watched the second half, and I'm just glad I saw the second half because
I saw that. Man, I couldn't even turn to the Raiders game for watching that game because I knew where we were sitting with the Raiders game. No one had scored at that point anyway. It was still the first quarter, so I was just like, I'm going to keep watching this overtime game till I tap in onto my team. My team going down.
I had kind of taken a nap during the 10 o'clock teams because, of course, my team was in Munich at 6:30 in the morning playing against the Bucs, and this could be very true. There's a meme we have here in a second for Tom Brady. This is undefeated since divorce. I mean, he's 2-0 since the divorce finalized. We've seen a different Tom Brady. They still have their struggles, but they were converting on third downs, which had never happened for their team. Our team could not convert on a third down. We went 1 for 9, I believe it is. The Seahawks didn't even show up the first half. They played the second half, and it was too little too late. There was a terrible fumble by Geno Smith that could have been the game. It could have been, ended up being the game-winning points that was needed. I mean, there was the trick play by the Bucs that led to Tom Brady slipping and falling, and Tariq Woolen grabbing the interception. This is his 5th interception of the season as well. So kudos to him. But, I got to take one, it was a tough loss. Of course, Seattle can't win them all. I've been happy just to have them win.
I'm happy with the record you guys have.
Exactly. I'm happy with it. What was funny, because I got to take more shots still, is, of course, there's fans in Germany that are turning their Russell Wilson jerseys into the 2 first-round picks. There was the girl I saw at the Seahawks game in Seattle when I was there last that had done a similar thing on hers. There was people in Arizona that did similar things with theirs. And now we've got, even the Germans are out there.
I feel like you guys would have done probably worse with Russell anyway. So be happy that he's not there.
I'm glad. Well, can we just show this one too? This is Broncos country. Let's ride. For those that are on the audio, it's a huge 1920s ship. And that ship and that ride is not going very fast or not doing too much. It's just,
I'm all Raiders country. Let's ride. Shoot.
We also saw the Packers take down the Cowboys in overtime. The one time that Aaron Rodgers wants to come back, I'm just happy.
And you picked them
it
too.
was the
I was like,
Cowboys.
I'm gonna go with these Cowboys and see what they do. But
I
Aaron
did.
showed up. He showed
Yeah,
up.
he
It's
showed
Lambeau.
up.
He showed up.
I think he cut his hair. I
turf.
feel like he cut his hair, and that might have changed his vibe. I don't see the hair underneath his helmet anymore. You know, he had that like Nicolas Cage long hair for a while, and I feel like I think he cut it.
Oh, he was
Not
doing
sure.
the John Wick. So John Wick is over.
I guess. So yeah. I also wanted to show you, because the best thing about Thursday Night Football and it being on Prime is that it's beast mode, and I'm in your city, and he's usually got like some kind of thing he does in the beginning, which is like the in your city, and then there's a second clip towards the end of the game where he has something else within the city that Thursday Night Football is at. Of course, this Thursday is the Titans at the Packers, and here's beast mode in your city.
I just got to tell you, by the way, I pulled up to Lambeau
in a Lambeau. I heard.
That straight stuck.
What color?
Packer green.
And the fact that Aaron Rodgers actually wore a Seattle Seahawks jersey, of course it was Marshawn Lynch's, but the fact he actually had the jersey on, I need the story behind that. So before they're playing and having their Thursday Night Football game, at some point when Marshawn taped this, Aaron Rodgers put on a Seahawks jersey. I might have to take a screenshot of that and just hold on to it.
Aaron Rodgers also talked about the turf situation too, playing on turf.
Yeah.
He's really, really complaining about how that is an issue, you know.
Right.
And a lot about how, you know, the Chargers are losing players. Keenan Allen is still out and that kind of thing. And they play on turf. And there's a lot of teams that play on the turf and, you know, what to do and what are they going to do. They're not going to do nothing, you guys. Turf is going to stay.
Speaking of
injuries.
The
only way they could do that is if they walk away from a game. I feel like.
Or just make you know, the NFLPA will have to get involved, and they're going to have to try and make
they don't care about the players. Look at their insurance. Look at all that. It's all about the money. If they walk away from one game,
the NFLPA, the Players Association, the players that are
I know what you're talking about. They're Players Association, their union, but
they care.
They care, but it's falling on deaf ears, Melissa, when it's like money and dollars. You literally are going to have to make a stand and boycott a turf play game because it's all about advertising. They don't care about these players. And I'm saying that for the say, you've extended this league to 17 weeks now. So that's putting on players' bodies. You're having them play in turf, and then you're adding these Thursday games for what? Money. So again, if you're going to do that.
Well, they want to keep them healthy to keep their money, right?
They do, but they got to boycott. You got to either boycott or walk away and say, hey, we're not going to play on turf. We're not
let's
play
just not put that on. I mean, can you imagine like a boycott for football like there was for baseball back in the day? Like just
that's what they're gonna have to do. I mean, you're playing on slim blade. What kind of grass is it? That turf, that slim blade or whatever? That's hurting people right now. And then Aaron Rodgers, literally the first time I agree with Aaron Rodgers, put out a press conference since you brought him up about the turf. I said, look, I agree. And Raiders, we're lucky. We have grass, and we still can't get the. We still can't get the Jesus. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that turf or anything's going anywhere. But I just feel like I had to say something about it because that's been the talk too about this doggone turf. And look at what we're looking at in fantasy leagues. These weeks are way too long, and that's why our players are getting hurt.
It's not even the weeks; it's just the amount of injuries. Like
the weeks are way too long, and the days of the week. You're Monday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday. Like, come on.
Of course, it's too much.
It's too much, and it's taking a toll. On top of that, having to play on turf too, like that's just insane.
I mean, just this last Sunday was crazy. I mean, to have Kyler Murray be X'd out like an hour before the game, me frantically looking for a quarterback to substitute him. He's still out day to day. Dallas Goedert from the Eagles, tight end, he's on IR. Khalil Herbert, Cooper Kupp. That's what
Juju Smith-Schuster just went questionable. I mean,
Cooper Kupp's on IR. I've lost my star wide receiver in fantasy football. This man that gets me 20 to 30 game is gone.
Is this in your the girl chat league or the other league?
My other league.
Oh yeah, see.
And then Zach Ertz. I had Zach Ertz in one of my
Zach Ertz.
He's also out for the season.
Michael Thomas is out for me.
Not to mention, I have a lot of Seahawks and Bucs for some reason, and they're both out on bye this week.
I know.
So my team is literally the bare bones.
When I opened that app and saw all that red, I was just like, you know what? Murder, death, kill. I'm done.
I can't even deal with this. Then you gotta take people off the IR just to get some waiver action going. Otherwise, if they're in IR and they shouldn't be there, you can't even get your waiver wire pick. It's a lot.
Commissioners, do me a huge favor. Do me a huge favor. Next season, put more than one IR spot. I'm not talking about you.
Only got one?
I'm talking about yeah, don't do that to us. You know what it is in this league. They're always getting hurt. I mean, basketball, me being a great commissioner, I got 4 IL spots for my basketball players. The basketball players are going down like a house of cards too. But at least I'm considerate and putting them in IL spots so people can flex and try to make a attempt to win a week. They don't even do that in football for us. So commissioners, I beg you, do more than one IR spot. These players are going down. We have nobody out there on the waiver wire that's worth any points for us to substitute. I put nothing but scraps in. You mean to tell me I got Marquise Valdes-Scanlon playing for five points?
I had Colt McCoy as my quarterback.
Come on.
So for those out there that don't know, the Jags, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, the Bucs, they all have a bye this week. I'm sure you know if you're in fantasy football because your screen might have been lit up red like ours was. Hey, I just wanted to quickly shout out my Huskies because even though my Seahawks lost, my Dogs put in a beat down. They beat the Ducks this week, and the Ducks were number 6. UW was 25, okay, and this is
the dog is laughing now on Duck Hunt. The dog
is loving life at Duck Hunt. So now the Huskies are number 17. So we also kicked the Oregon Ducks out of being able to make it into the college football playoffs, which is dope because I'm glad they can't go now. And then of course you still got your usual Georgia Bulldogs.
Man, what's going on with Georgia?
They're number 1. They can't lose. They just can't lose. Jeez. This is like one of the first weeks in a few that the top 5 didn't move. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU, Tennessee. Bama went up 2 spots. They were at 10. Now they're 8. But they almost lost to Ole Miss this weekend. Like it was a close one. Very close. They should have lost. I can't stand. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And another, just quick Seattle moment. I did want to share. Julio Rodriguez did win the AL Rookie of the Year, and it was such a dope little thing for him. And I wanted to show what they had posted about Julio.
Julio Rodriguez, this guy is fun to watch. A young budding superstar, never gets rattled. You gotta love his personality.
Capture the hearts of baseball fans around the world.
Face of the franchise already.
This is what a superstar looks like.
Gone! Goodbye, baseball! Man, this kid is something.
I tell him every day he's the best player in baseball.
I think he's the best player I've ever seen. For sure the best player I've ever played with.
That combination of power and speed.
All-star center field.
Julio!
And he is locked in a huge shot. 3rd rookie in Major League history.
So shout out to Julio Rodriguez, and also shout out to the Mariners because even though we're still just barely out of the offseason, they did get a great pickup today. They picked up and traded with Toronto for Mr. Hernandez here, all-star outfielder. We have a couple guys that are possibly not going to be returning for the Mariners next season in the outfield. So picking him up and his batting power is going to be huge as we try to make it a back-to-back, making the playoff season with the Mariners. So, yeah.
All right, Justin Turner fans, if you're a Dodger out there, because I got to talk about my Dodgers real quick. Justin Turner is waived from us. He is no longer a Dodger. He's going on as free agent. So we do not have Red Turn anymore. He did put a lovely post on his Instagram stating how much he enjoyed being a Dodger, wearing that Dodger blue. Whoever picks him up, he's still a hitter. I don't know what our organization is going to do without Red Turn, but
was that like a salary issue thing going on for the Dodgers?
He's 38 years old. He's a veteran. I mean, I think we're just trying to cut salary cap so we can get some other players coming in, But I like Justin Turner. I mean, we got to find a better third baseman. Who are we going to get? I mean, this is where it's time for Dodgers offseason to start shopping. But Red Turn was one of my favorites, so I'm going to miss him.
Okay. We are kind of running out of time or overtime, so I want to get into some sneakers and to our picks. Just a quick NBA recap. Celtics just won again, so now they're on 8 straight. They're now 8 straight wins, which is pretty good for the Celtics.
Phoenix is beating Golden State right now.
The Bucs lost to
68-59.
Cleveland, I think, today.
Yeah,
and they lost. So that's like the last 4 of their 5 games. So the Bucs are dropping fast.
And that's another thing. Jared Allen, the center of the Cleveland Cleveland Cavaliers, one of my star players, he's on injury. It just doesn't end.
And they're still winning without him.
Yeah. I need Jared Allen back though. I need him
Darius
back for
Garland for the Cleveland. He hit the first 50 point of the season for this year when they lost the Wolves over the weekend. But then the Kings, but then Embiid, like an hour later, hit 59 points in his win over Sunday. And so Joel Embiid is now the first 76er since Allen Iverson to score 50 points.
Shout out to my guy, Anthony Davis, dropping 37 the other night on the Lakers. Career high so far for the season.
Did they win?
Yeah, they won.
Oh.
Well, but we're still,
second from
3
the last.
wins in. We're only 3 wins in. But I'll
hey,
take
guys,
it.
You'll take that.
It with him hitting 37 points.
Was somebody out? Like, was someone on a load management night or something? How?
I think
how he got so much playing time.
I think LeBron might have been sitting down or whatever. But 37 points from Anthony Davis, that's huge. I don't never hear those kind of stats, so I had to call that out.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And real quick, WNBA news. Candace Parker's returning to the Sky for her 16th season. I know a while ago, Diana Taurasi had announced that she was returning back for her next season. I think it's her 19th. And the WNBA draft lottery took place. I think it was last weekend. The Indiana Fever finally got their first pick. The Indiana Fever have sucked for many years and have never got a first pick in the draft. This is their first year, so we'll see what they do with it, because there's a lot of women in this draft and not enough spaces on teams. I will say that. It should be interesting how this WNBA season goes when it comes to draft time.
Real quick, I just saw something pop up that Carr and Devontae Adams, not to go back to football, they are applauding Mark Davis for the Josh McDaniels thing, and they're saying that now they can exhale and breathe. I don't know what's going on.
It's a PR move. This smells
I don't know what's
PR-ish.
going on, but why would they sit up there and back him? So now that they're backing him, this guy is not going anywhere, okay? So Raider fans, we're just going to have to get off the Josh McDaniels thing, because obviously now you've got 2 co-signers of Devontae Adams.
Or maybe they're just trying to get everybody to come together for the rest of the season and then deal with the
Take it, and let's draft. I guess they should have said nothing.
They're trying to get the fans and the community to support them.
That doesn't help us.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
We booed that game too, by the way.
That's wild.
But anyway, I'm sorry. I just happened to see that on the ESPN.
You're good. No, that's it's hilarious.
Raiders.
Big girl power. Listen, I know for you and me, we don't care for Florida too much in most of the respects of Florida. But one thing I will give credit to is the Florida Marlins, who not only promoted Caroline O'Connor here to the president of business operations this past Monday, but they're the first U.S. major sports franchise to have women serving simultaneously as their president and GM. As you're aware, they had Kim that was hired back in November of 2020 as the general manager. So go Marlins. Listen, I'm gonna be a Marlins fan just for these 2 ladies right here.
That's
because everything else in Florida sucks.
I mean, they still suck, but that's great that they're giving a woman some leadership and executive role. I mean, it's something, but I'm still not going. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not going, but I'll support them. I'm not going to be a Marlins fan,
They can move from there and come to us, and I'll support.
There we go.
Yeah, we need a team.
Sneaker drops. Okay, this is a couple quick ones. So the Nike Air Max 1, the 87s. This is the Ale Brown. These will be released on this. I really like this color. I don't know if I'd get them, but it's nice little mocha Ale Brown. You also have the Nike Terminator High, the Georgetowns. These will be released on November 17th. So for anybody who's feeling very 1980s basketball-ish, these are right up your alley. This is the Ramoa times Adidas NMDS ones. These will be out on 11/17. I actually like the colorway here. I love forest green, so not too bad. Not a bad Adidas, I guess. Now here's something interesting. I don't know how to keeping them clean, but the clot in the Converse Jack Purcell's Pandas. So now the Panda has crossed over to the Converse market. They're fuzzy. They're fuzzy Converse. Look like little sheep on your feet.
Is that like a varsity leather chenille or something on it?
I guess.
I mean, Nike is a Converse is part of Nike anyway, so I'm not surprised.
Of course.
I mean, they're gonna have to do something because the Panda thing is getting a little out of hand anyway. So they had to do something.
They're getting released. The Pandas are getting released again.
I know it's just too much.
Yeah,
it's oversaturation at this point. But they had to do something.
I just don't see how this looks like the hardest thing to clean in the world, and it looks like the zippers on the back too, which is interesting, which is nice. Zipper. I like it. I like the lows. A high top. Yeah,
the high top's not bad, but I like the lows too. But they had to do something with them. It's getting a little
they did
tired.
You got the Nike SB Dunk Low Be True. This is the second of the Be True collection. And the one thing about these ones, they have this like mesh netting on them, which is not something you normally see on a dunk shoe. So look out for those dropping on the 18th. And if I could just get the Prayer Warrior sneaker gods to be in my graces on the 19th. The Air Jordan 1 High OG Lost and Founds have been pushed back a few times. These are officially being released on the 19th of this month. And that's it. Your phone hasn't cut off.
No.
I feel like
I'm thinking it's this cord or so. I don't know what's going on.
All right, so Mo, you won last week's pick.
I did?
You did, because you picked the Vikings. You picked the Niners, and you picked the Dolphins. You did pick the Dolphins. The Dolphins over the Browns.
Kansas City.
They cleaned the Browns.
Going against whoever was playing the Browns, yeah. I had picked the Browns.
No, this week we've got Tennessee Titans at the Packers. Packers are favored by 3.
I'll roll with Green Bay. It sounds like Aaron got his legs underneath him now.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's got it. You know, we were kind of judgmental of Tom and Aaron the first like 7-8 weeks, and now it looks like maybe they're starting to come back.
The tide's turning. Tide is turning.
Tide is turning.
Yeah.
All right, the Bears in Atlanta. I feel like Atlanta's been Marcus Mariota. I feel like I'm flexing him this week in fantasy because there's nobody else available.
I don't know on this game. I'm going with the Titans. You said it's the Tennessee Titans?
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Falcons.
Listen, hey, you guys, the Bears could have won that game. They were at home. It was a very close game. Their quarterback is starting to look like a quarterback now. So I'm going to put some faith in him.
Well, he's got a running back. He's taking more runs than the running backs for the Bears.
He is, but I mean, if that's what you got to do, his run game is ridiculous. I mean, I'm seeing Justin Fields just be. Well, but that's what quarterbacks are doing now. They're running the ball. I mean, it's nothing.
But 168 yards as a quarterback?
I mean, what was Lamar Jackson doing when he came out the gate that first time? You know what I mean? So
168. Okay,
it's a lot.
So you're going with the Bears.
Sometimes you got to take those risks. So I'm going to pick the Bears. I mean, I'm probably going to make a mistake on this, but I'm going to pick the Bears.
I'm going to go with the Falcons only because they are at home. And if I'm taking Mariota as my flex, I need to put all my
good luck
mojo into that. All right, we got Carolina Panthers, who Baker Mayfield is going to be playing this weekend at the Baltimore Ravens. I think we both know we're going with the Ravens on this one.
I'm going Baltimore for sure.
Yeah. Although spread is 13, I don't know, seems a little steep, but hopefully, because here's the deal: is Mark Andrews back? That's what I need to know. Because they coming off a bye. Mark Andrews was out the week before and the bye. I have Mark Andrews patiently waiting on my bench because if he's playing, I'm putting him back in, and I got some other moves to make with tight ends. But yeah, interesting. We got the Browns at the Bills. Bills are favored by 8. I'm disappointed.
I mean, you can't help but pick the Bills on that.
Yeah, you can't. And I don't think after a loss to the Vikings, they're going to let the Browns come through there and try and win at home. All right,
Commanders. Because Deshaun Watson's not back. We got 2 more weeks till Watson comes back. So everybody's gonna have
13, right? 13 week
13. Yeah, I already got him in my little lineup ready.
You were ready. The Commanders coming up a hot win at Houston. I'm gonna go with the
Boy,
Commanders
that's a
on this
bus
one.
game.
Most definitely.
Jeez. So we're gonna do Washington because what? That's the only team. The Texans are the only team that's under the Raiders right now. So we're not dead last, but they are. So I will definitely take the Commanders on this.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So is Houston only won one game?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we got the Eagles going into Indiana and the Colts.
Got a tie too.
So Jeff Saturday has a real test on his shoulders come Sunday with the Philadelphia Eagles coming into town. Will we really see what the Colts have?
And not to mention, they put in Matt Ryan in that game. You had a 37-year-old.
They put it in last minute.
And he ran the football multiple yards. I think I want to say, what was that against the Raiders? Like what, 40-some yards?
Matt Ryan did
it. Matt Ryan was running.
He's trying to get his place back.
Our defense couldn't even get him. And he was sluggish on that run. But I digress. I'm going to go with the Eagles. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I got to go with the Eagles too. All right, so this one should be a pretty good one. The Jets at the Patriots.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a snow day. I don't know, maybe not. But I know there's some snow football games happening in Ohio this weekend, college and.
I mean, that doesn't stop the Jets. It's New York, so
never.
They play in snow. I'm going to go with the Patriots just because of the coaching thing. We've got Belichick against Robert Saleh. I know these kids are balling, and I love the Jets, and I know what they're running on, and they just want to get out there and play. But you're going up against a veteran coach here who's made some moves that are just kind of really out of this world. So I'm just going to go with the Patriots on this one.
I'm going to go Jets just because
I've
been
riding with them too. I'm not going to be mad if they win.
They got like you would say, they got the young Tito squad.
They do have the Tito squad, but they don't have Robert Saleh is doing very well with the Titos, but Belichick though, his plays are just
all right. So we've got the struggling Rams heading into New Orleans to play the Saints. The Saints just picked up.
Saints got to win this game.
Who they pick? They pick up Johnson. David Johnson, the old running back. They picked him up. But yeah, Saints. Listen,
I think that game is what minus.
The Rams might be the defending champs and be the bottom of the NFC West here. Like this is what it's coming down to.
Minus 3.5 for the Saints. Minus 3.5. You got a 3-16 versus a 3-17. This could go either way because it's at home. I don't know.
Is Jameis back?
No. I don't think he is.
But
so they got Andy Dalton.
Kamara
so Andy Dalton is a quarterback. So let me go with the Rams. I'm just going to flip that. I'm going to go with the Rams. You got Andy Dalton out there. Enough said.
Oh,
I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, I got to go with you too. Damn. Oh, I don't want to.
I mean, Saints are like my second team, but I'm not going with my heart this time. I'm just going to have to be realistic. You guys got Andy Dalton out there. I don't know if Jameis wins. If Jameis Winston, I'd say a whole different thing, but Andy.
Because Andy definitely fouled up this last Sunday's game big time.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Lions at the Giants. Spread's only 3. So I don't know if there's a weather concern that I don't know about. The Lions.
I'm rolling with Danny Dimes. I'm going to try him. I have him on my fantasy league.
Hey, listen.
I'm going to roll with Danny Dimes.
Why did Saquon say that his new nickname for Daniel Jones is Vanilla Vic?
Not Vanilla Vic. I'm rolling with Danny. Vic. He's the new Michael Vick. But I'm rolling with Danny Dimes. I'm not gonna call him Vanilla Vic. That's a shame. There's only one Michael Vick. We're not about to appropriate Michael Vick's name with Vanilla Vic. So I'm gonna keep calling him Danny Dimes.
Okay.
So it's Danny.
I'm gonna roll with the Lions only because I still am a fan of Dan. I love head coach Dan, and I enjoy the maybe there's a big away
7-2. Okay.
Them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Look what the Commanders did.
Yeah. I mean, all right.
I don't know.
All
right, you got your Raiders going into Let's Ride country this week.
Broncos country, let's ride. With a high altitude. I feel like Raiders.
I just hope Max Crosby dunks on Russell Wilson like at least 3 or 4 times. Get him like 3 or 4 sacks.
That man.
3 or 4 sacks. Just a few sacks.
Just take him down gently, Max.
Gently.
Take him down gently, Max.
No flags, Max.
No flags. I don't need no penalties. I'm gonna go with my Raiders. I'm gonna give them a chance.
Of course, I'm rolling with your Raiders too, and I feel like they can cover the Broncos only favored by 2.5.
I know that's a crazy.
I would push out the Raiders win.
It's a crazy spread right there, but you know what? I'm gonna roll with my Raiders. Shout out to my cousins that had me playing the NFL app last night when I was at my parents' house for the Terry Bradshaw Crash Prize, where I had to pick the spreads on each team for the week.
Oh.
I hope you guys do not curse me out if I made bad picks, but sorry. I'm just saying that early.
All right, Dallas Cowboys at the Vikings. We've already seen what the Vikings have been doing. Dallas coming off of their overtime loss to the Packers.
That's a great game. That's a great game.
It's going to be a great game. Dallas is favored by 1.5 points.
With the Vikings. It's a great
game. At
game.
home, too? Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, I haven't even seen Dak. I haven't even seen Zeke. I mean, I don't even know.
No, I've seen Zeke and I've seen Dak, but it just hasn't been.
Not really.
No, they're there.
That's their defense. Their defense
they're just not making it happen. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Yes,
I've been rolling with Minnesota though. So
yeah, you have. You have. See, now her phone goes off. We're already 20 minutes past the hour, and her phone goes off. I'll see if Mo taps in here real quick because we do want to finish our pick'ems. I appreciate those. We've gone well over an hour today, and I thank you for being here and tuning in. There we go. Hey. I can't hear you. Oh, there it goes. Hello? No, she'll get back in. Well, the next game, Bengals at Pittsburgh. That's another team. This is another. I don't even know why this game is on. This is the one that got flexed, I believe. They flexed this game from the Kansas City Chiefs Chargers game to Sunday Night Football, which is interesting. I don't know what is going on with Mo. Here we go. Let me see. Hello? No. Touch some. Tap. There we go.
Okay. Got it. How about now? I'm back.
Yep, we're good. All right.
Boost Mobile. It's the best thing on the planet.
Way to be cost effective. The Bengals at the Steelers. This is the game that got flexed from last week.
Right, because they didn't deserve prime time.
Yeah, they flexed last week for this weekend. Yeah. So Bengals are favored, but honestly, I think this is going to be a crapshoot here.
Steelers, they showed up and they won a game. I mean,
they beat the Saints.
They did. It doesn't say much. It doesn't say much. But I'm going to go with the Bengals. I can't count Jamar Chase and all those guys out. I mean, I don't think he's going to do that much in fantasy points like he did that one week, or Joe Mixon in fantasy points like he did. But they just got a better squad.
I'm really
it's tough.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh just because I really don't know, but they're at home, so I figure if anything, maybe Tomlin got one more.
Advantage is always
home at him.
You know.
All right, the Chiefs at the Chargers. Let's hope that nobody on Kansas City or the Chargers get injured at SoFi this weekend.
It's another divisional game.
We've got the Chiefs are favored by 5.5. I don't. Justin Herbert has not played like he did last season. Granted, he's had some injuries. I'm still waiting for these guys to come out. Off the IR that have been gone for like 5 weeks. I believe it's the Chiefs. I mean,
I'm going with the Chiefs too. I got Pat Mahomes on my fantasy league. I'm not about to. I got Justin Herbert.
All right, now we all saw the inspirational thing that I showed the video last week of Kyler Murray getting very emotional. It was also on the in-season Hard Knocks, which is on tonight. So make sure you tune into that. I thought it was last night, and I got really mad when I went to go watch it today, and it wasn't there because it comes on tonight. So it's on tonight. The in-house in-season with the Hard Knocks with the Arizona Cardinals. The 49ers are at Arizona. -8 is the favor for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Niners too.
I can't. I can't.
I know you can't. That's your nemesis.
My nemesis.
But I had to pick between two.
And because Seattle is on a bye week this weekend, and we're only over the Niners by a half game, so I really need Cardinals to really pull it together this weekend or this Monday Night Football. I need Kyler to be healthy. They'd already down Ertz.
Maybe. But you know what? They may show up. I mean, defense is one thing, and
I would take them to cover, though. I think they could cover. I think they could, because here's the deal: the Niners have all of these weapons, a ridiculous amount of weapons, and they barely beat the Chargers last weekend.
I know,
barely beat them. But you've got all these weapons: CMC, Debo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's their quarterback.
Kittles.
You got Jimmy Garoppolo.
How do you? Let me just get a couple of those players. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
know.
All right, you guys. We went way over 2 hours.
But we had a good time. Shout out to Arlington. We had a great time.
Thank you to Arlington, ATrain show. The Zone. That was our OG in the Zone people that we love them.
Palmer and Arlington.
We need the Cardinals to win. Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
Well, you got Seahawks fans in the chat, so I get it.
Well, yeah, we need that. Shout out to Alicia. Thanks to everybody that tuned in today.
Yes.
If you're just in the tail end of it, watch the replay, or you can
shout out Dre. Welcome back.
Subscribe.
Your trip.
Oh,
thanks for watching.
Costa Rica.
I was gonna put where they were on blast, but welcome back from your trip. Thanks.
We don't even know who. No one knows what they're talking about in here.
Thank you. Welcome back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't tell her about no trips, man. Don't tell y'all.
I mean, it's not like it's on their social media or nothing all day long. Yeah, I'm jealous. I should have been in Costa Rica.
Yeah. That's all good. I know. But anyway, it rained quite a bit too.
It's still rainy season. It's really not summer until December.
Right?
No, they only have they have a rainy season and a summer, and that's it.
Yeah, Jorge was talking about it was their spring headed into summer. But the place to be is Australia. It's 70 to 80 degrees out there. I'm looking at all that down there. And
I mean, it was still warm down there. It's just
just a rainy season. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alicia, have a great week as well. Thank you for tuning in.
Alicia,
all right, y'all. We
in.
appreciate you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, same time, same place.
Thanks, Dad, for tuning in as well.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Threets. We appreciate you. All right, y'all. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Next week.
Bye.